Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Haxorus with the move Breaking Swipe. I got some battles sent to me, I literally just woke up, so if my voice sounds a little bit weird, that's most likely why. But I got some battles here sent to me with the Haxorus with the move Breaking Swipe for the Open Great League here. If you want to send in your battles, there's always a link in the description of every video, so feel free to send them in if you have something interesting to showcase. Of course, I couldn't pass onto this one here right now, which is going to be a very interesting one. Definitely a Pokemon that I'm curious on how good it's going to be in the Open Great League, because if you didn't see my video yesterday about the Community Day, this Pokemon seems to be a very strong pick for the Great League actually, which is something that I'd never really expected before really taking a look at it. But Counter really makes this Pokemon doing a ton of damage there, but also even Dragon Tail can do something. Well, this is here of course the main Great League variant here with Counter as well as Surf. I'm most likely going to take a look at the Dragon Tail variant later on if I'm done with my Community Day, so definitely check that one out as well when this coming out here. Also leave a like on this video here if you enjoy this type of content here with early access to those new moves on new Pokemon here. Definitely appreciate the submission there as well. We're going to see here now the matchup against the Altaria. That's going to not really look too good for this team here. This team is going to be Pelipper, I guess, as your Say-Swap here, and the Tentacruel in the back. Tentacruel, I guess, is a good pick together with the Haxorus because you're going to be able to counter those Fairy-type Pokemon. But still, it can be a little bit tricky, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe this team works out, maybe this team doesn't work out. It's something that you rarely really see. You don't really see Tentacruel too often in the Open Great League. More like Toxapex, which is just the same typing but a little bit bulkier. But in comparison to Toxapex, I actually think I like Tentacruel a little bit more. Just because you're going to have those different kind of moves. You have Scald, which is going to do more damage than Brine, and as well has the option to debuff. As well as you're going to have the option for Acid Spray, which they don't run here. They're running Sludge Wave. Wonder if this is going to come in clutch. It's not a bad move, while the opponent throws a Moonblast here. That is definitely a bad move. Sludge Wave can have some kind of benefits of basically doing a little bit more damage than Scald in general, so you're going to have a more hard-hitting nuke move, while usually, especially as a closer, Acid Spray is what I would recommend because it's going to have a little bit more of an impact there. We're going to see a Lapras in the lead. We have super effective moves against them, while they also have super effective moves against us here right now. So they're gonna go for one Breaking Swipe, and we're going to swap out here, I guess, into the Pelipper, letting this move go through with an Ice Beam. They actually have Ice Beam here. You don't always see Ice Beam onto Lapras in the Open Great League. There's also a lot of times the case that you're running Skull Bash, which might be even the better move there, but I'm not sure. I think actually in the nowadays meta I would run Skull Bash because of Dugong, especially, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hit this Pokemon. But here we're going to see now the Mew going to go for a Surf, undercharged by the opponent. Great play there, but there are now 2 shields down already. Now only 1 shield down as the Tentacruel is using a shield here against this Wild Charge coming in. Let's see what's coming in here right now. It's going to be the... We will find out shortly. It's going to be a Toxicroak. Okay, we're going to see the Scald coming through here, which is going to do around 60% of the health of the opponent, and gets the attack drop, which is going to be nice. You can easily survive a Mud Bomb here, and you can swap out. No, dear. Okay, they swap out into Lapras. I guess the swap out does make sense now. But staying in maybe wouldn't have been the worst play either, I'm not sure really. Here you're going to be able to knock out the Lapras at least, and now the Toxicroak is already so low that with the shield advantage here you can just farm them all the way down. Let's take a look at the next game. You're going to see the Venusaur in the lead here, which you're gonna retaliate here with the Pelipper, and in comes a Galarian Stunfisk. This is going to be a pretty decent matchup. You can always flip switch here, but I'm not sure if you can. Oh, the opponent has a pretty bad Galarian Stunfisk here. Usually it doesn't 2-shot immediately. It does 2-shot in the 2-shield scenario, but this Galarian Stunfisk must be super low IVs because, or maybe even because the Pelipper IVs here are also not really ideal from this player. Might actually give you the edge here in the Galarian Stunfisk matchup because you're going to do more damage with the move Weather Ball. Either the opponent doesn't have the best IVs, or you have or your IVs just actually benefit you in that matchup. But now we're going to see the Venusaur, Shadow Venusaur, gonna go for a Frenzy Plant. Venusaur is also a Pokemon I kind of want to take a look at myself again, maybe make a video about this one. But here now the Sableye is coming in, gonna go for the Scald, trying to get the debuff, I guess. But let's take a look at this one here. We're going to see the Breaking Swipe coming through. It's going to be a tough match to still win. Breaking Swipe gonna get the debuff onto the opponent. You have to shield this move up here because the next one gonna get debuffed, but they are not shielding this move up, which is something that you definitely should have tried to do at least. I'm not sure if it would have helped, but at least, like, if you debuff the opponent anyway, like, and you need to use a shield somewhere, I feel like you should have shielded that one. But I'm not sure about this one. We're gonna see here the opponent going for 2 charge moves now to win this game, but I'm not sure if you could have won this game if you shielded the first foul play. Don't know how big the difference would have been compared to the second one then, like, if you go ahead and get the, what's called, the debuff on them, like if you will survive that much longer, I'm not sure. But here we're gonna see a save swap of Sandslash, which I guess didn't know that we have counter here on this Pokemon, which is the normal moveset though on Haxorus, so they definitely should know that. But in comes again the Deoxys, which is a pretty hard answer like for the entire team here. I feel like you're gonna struggle quite a bit with this Pokemon. Let's take a look at this. We're gonna see the attack drop coming through, and we're gonna see a swap here onto the Pelipper. This is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be the Psycho Boost. It's going to be very nice for you. It's now going to be able to go into the Dugong for the opponent here. Dugong double, no, actually, yeah, it is double legacy still with Icy Wind and Ice Shot. Going to do a ton of damage here with the Icy Wind. Gonna put you into farm down range as you're gonna go ahead and go for the Hurricane, which is gonna get shielded. What are you gonna do here? You're gonna go into the Tentacool, which is a little bit risky because they of course have Drill Run here right now. And you're going to let this move go through. It actually does less than I expected. I thought Drill Run would basically do like 60-70%, but I guess I am wrong with that. I guess that Dugong is too bulky for that. As they're going to bait you here right now, you're going to go ahead and go into your Haxorus, but this is not looking good. I think the opponent can just farm you all the way down. I'm not sure if you can still get to another charge move afterwards. I feel like there's going to be a game over here right now. As the Scald is coming through, can you still win this game here? In comes the Dugong, and can you reach a Sludge Wave? Literally on the CMP tie, you're going to be able to hit the Sludge Wave here right now. Good game there. This is going to easy one-shot the opponent. I guess here Sludge Wave comes in clutch. Like, without Sludge Wave, you would have most likely not knocked out the opponent there with a Scald. So this is really cool to see. What's also cool to see is a Lantern lead. Lantern is one of the Pokemon that got completely destroyed by Haxorus here, as you're going to be able to take those moves pretty easily, especially after the attack drop here. The Surf is not going to do too much damage, and you can just go ahead and go for more Breaking Swipes. Is the opponent going to swap out into a Noctowl? Hard meta here right now, but the Noctowl at least has his bow tie as well as a small like head thingy there on there. But we're going to see now the Sky Attack coming through from the opponent, which going to, no, it's going to be a Shadow Ball, okay? That's interesting. Like, usually people go for a Sky Attack because I think Sky Attack is more damage per energy, while Shadow Ball is more damage in general. But here we're going to see now the Lantern coming in. You can still go ahead and go for one Weather Ball, I guess, but the opponent going to get a ton of energy. Why do they shield this move up? The shield doesn't really make too much sense here, but we can still go ahead and go for one Breaking Swipe, I guess. It's going to knock them out if they just going to decide to use 2 shields here. I guess you're going to decide to use a shield as well, which is going to be a Thunderbolt against you. You can shield another time here, trying to get some Breaking Swipe debuffs, I guess, onto the opponents, which might help you out quite a bit. And it's going to be a Stunfisk, so you can actually go ahead and go for a Surf, but it's still going to be a you're going to catch this move? You're going to catch the Rock Slide coming in from the opponent here right now onto the Tentacruel. And Tentacruel should be able to win CMP against the opponent here, going to try to get to the Scald here. And the Scald is coming through right now, going to knock out the opponent, and this is going to be a very good game there. Next opponent, we're going to see the Galarian Stunfisk here. Let's take a look at this game as well. This is a very decent lead for you. Like, this lead is going to be positive for the Haxorus, and you see already how strong Haxorus is in general. Like, so far, we are like halfway through the video, but Haxorus does so much work in the Open Great League right now. This Pokemon is so underrated. Like, I have never seen anybody talk about it before in my video yesterday, and like, honestly, this Pokemon looks like a lot of fun for the Great League. I can highly recommend it to you. We're going to see the Azumarill shielding up the charge move here, which is a little bit weird. This is basically the prime example why Tentacruel is a cool Pokemon for this kind of meta right now. Against any Fairy type, especially Azumarill, you don't even have to shield anything. You can just go ahead and knock them out, go for the charge moves, going to completely farm them down, whatever. And here we actually see still the Sludge Wave coming through, which is going to do a little bit more damage against the opponent, which is kind of nice, putting them around half health. And you're actually going to decide to go into the Pelipper, I guess, because you know at this point of time that Haxorus is going to be the best answer for you there in the back. You're going to just try to farm all the opponent down here. They're double weak to counter, I guess. So that's going to be fine for you, as you're going to see now the Surface coming through now against the opponent as well. This is actually enough to knock them out. I'm not sure because it's not Stab. And it is enough to knock them out, which is nice. Breaking Swipe is coming through, basically sealing the deal here, as we're going to be able to go ahead and go for the debuff there, and we see the win here for this player. In comes Lantern, again a very decent lead for you, as you see now a Sableye coming in, and Breaking Swipe is going to do some pretty decent damage here. I'm going to swap into the Pelipper. you're going to take one charge move here. I'm curious how much it's going to do. It's not going to do half, but I guess with the extra fast moves it might do enough. This is risky here right now. I feel like maybe because of the IVs... Oh yeah, you're going to lose all your energy here. And this is going to be so bad for you because now you cannot realign. And you really need to realign with this team. Oh no. Yeah, I think maybe with like better IVs for Pelipper, you would have been able to survive those moves. But this was really not ideal, especially as now the Noctowl is coming through. Like, if you went ahead and went for the Weather Ball first, like, I think you would have been fine there. But, like, this is going to be such a tough game to come back from. Because the opponent, of course, still had the Lantern. You're not going to let Shield this move up here, but yeah, Lantern here going to have to take a Sludge Wave, I guess. But honestly, this is not looking good. They're going to go straight for the Surf here, interestingly enough. But now, your Haxorus basically has no health left anymore, as well as your Tentacool as well. So it's not really looking too good for you. As you're going to see the Surf or the Scald coming through here right now. Scald gonna do not a lot of damage here, of course, because it gets shielded. And you have to try to farm them all the way down, but they have 2 Surfs stored at this point of time, I feel like. So yeah, you're going to have to use both your shields. There's still the Noctowl in the back. They can swap into the Noctowl. They even have the Lantern still alive with like 1 HP in the back. Yeah, it's going to be game. I'm pretty sure you would have been able to win this if you went for the Weather Ball earlier. But, yeah, or if you have better IVs for the Pelipper as well. But, yeah, definitely something to improve on, maybe. Here we're going to see now, next game, we're going to see the Deoxys in the lead again. We're going to see the shield coming up immediately. It's going to be a Psycho Boost as we see a Vigoroth coming in here. You're going to go for the Weather Ball spam. I guess it's the safest play to go for. I think Hurricane might be a little bit better in this scenario as the opponent going to let this move go through anyway. It's going to be a little bit of a difficult matchup now to farm them all the way down. But especially with the Deoxys still around, it's going to be a tough matchup here for you, as Deoxys is just very strong against both your lead as well as the Tentacruel in the back. So maybe for that reason, maybe some kind of Ghost type might be better in the back that also is like part water, like Jellicent, I guess. Because Jellicent would allow you to also still beat like those Ice type Pokemon. Like you need something that beats Ice type Pokemon because your lead is still weak to it. Like for example, I guess a Frostlass or something would be something that you need still to beat with something else because you cannot do it with the Haxorus. But you need something that is a little bit more neutral against those Psychic type Pokemon, I feel like. So that might be something to improve the team on. Try to go for maybe a Jellicent right now. I think they're also spawning the current... Yeah, they're definitely spawning the current Beach Week or whatever it's currently going on. So, might be a little bit better for the team, but still, Tentacruel is a very strong Pokemon. As you're going to see as well in this matchup, you're going to see the Obstagoon coming in here, going for one Night Slash, as the Sludge Wave is coming through here right now. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the Sludge Wave going to do some pretty decent damage against the opponent, as we see the, what's called Scald coming through here right now, going to knock out the opponent's Deoxys, and we're going to see the victory here. Next game, we're going to see another Galarian Stunfisk in the lead here. You're going to be able to go ahead and go for some Surf damage, I guess. You're going to... Are you shielding the first move? You're actually going to shield the first move here. I guess it's like kind of hit or miss. Honestly, like it could be kind of both of that. Like you can take one Rook Slide for sure. But if this already is such a strong matchup, I think if you just shield here, you can farm them all the way down. Or you just don't shield and you can farm them all the way down. That's also fine for you, but you see how strong the matchup against the Galarian Stunfisk is here so far. You're going to swap out here against the opponent's Trevenant right now. You can go for one Weather Ball. This is going to most likely get shielded. They have so much energy here right now. They're going to go for their own charge move. You're going to just shield up the move as well. Maybe they have a Medicham in the back or something. Let's take a look at this. We see a lot of times, we will never find out. I'm pretty sure it might be a Medicham in the back. Because the League Galarian Stunfisk plus Medicham Side Swap and Trevenant is kind of similar to a team that I used before as well, with Bastion instead of the Galarian Stunfisk in the lead. So maybe something like that. Here we're going to see the Noctowl gonna get the debuff onto the attack as they go for the Sky Attack this time around here. As we see now the opponent... Are you going to shear this one so they cannot realign? Okay, you're going to shear this one up. Gonna go for the Sky Attack. You're gonna go for the Hurricane. Is this going to... This definitely should knock out the opponent if they're not shielding, but it's risky. Yeah, they're not going to shield this, which is really nice. In comes now the Medicham, which is gonna go for a Power-Up Punch. This was way too fast. This was too fast for an Ice Punch. So we're going to be seeing another Hurricane coming their way. I'm pretty sure it would be better to go for Weather Ball here. Obvious shield for the opponent, but you're still going to be able to align your Tentacruel against the opponent here, which most likely going to be very fine for you as well. As you're going to see right now, Psychic coming through, gonna get shielded. You can go for the Scald. I think Scald going to knock them out here. I'm not sure. I don't really play Tentacruel too often, but yeah, it's going to knock out the opponent as we're going to see the Quagsire coming in here. And now With the final Pokemon being revealed from the opponent, you can just try to debuff them the entire time, and this is going to be so amazing for you. As you're going to see here right now, you will be able to just go ahead, take this Stone Edge, and you can go into your Tentacool, and I think you're going to be able to outspeed the opponent here as well. Let's take a look at this. We're going to see the charge move coming through, and this should be game. Thanks all for watching this video as well. I'm going to make a video when I get my own Haxorus later on as well, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.